Hi, I'm Colleen Jones. Watch us next on TSN.
From the Winnipeg Arena on a Monday night, we continue with our coverage of the Ford World Curling Championships, and it's draw 5 for the women coming up. Colleen Jones and her Canadian Championship women's team from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, looking to win 5 straight. A 2-game day for Colleen and her team from the Mayflower Club in Halifax. They won this morning over Switzerland, and now they go on the ice against Italy, an 18-year-old Diana Gaspari from Cortina d'Ampezzo. 4 other games, including Japan against Sweden. Annette Norberg is at 3-1. The USA and Switzerland, both teams are 2-2. Denmark at 1-3 against Russia, while Scotland and Norway meet on sheet E. And so that's the Monday night here at these Ford Worlds. The women taking over, the men playing just the once. And we can tell you that Randy Ferbey and his team made it 4 straight wins with a win over Finland and Marco Jussi-Pavoniemi this afternoon. Let's read the ice now with Ray. It's brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Well, like the Italian Alps, it's a really moving, boy, I'll tell you.
Is that what they say there?
It's around that center guard is about 4.5 to 5 feet. Around the corner guard, it goes the same, 4, maybe go to 4.5. It stops a bit in the 12-foot. From the outside in around the corner guard, you're getting about 4, maybe 4.5 later in the game. A couple things to remember, it does run very straight with weight, that's for sure. Of course, this is known as the Chianti line right there. And this is the controller zona. You have to control that area right there. Italy, Canada, yes sir.
Oh, I could see where we're going here. Mille grazie, Raimondo. Let's meet the Italian team. Their lead is Violetta Caldart, Rosa Pompanen, Giulia Lacciadelli, and Diana Gaspari. They curl out of the New Wave Curling Club in Cortina d'Ampezzo. And the Canadian champions, Nancy Delahunt, Marianne Way, Kim Kelly, and Colleen Jones from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax. So the Italians playing the Redstones will have the hammer. Canada play the yellow. An impressive start, Linda, I think, for this Canadian team. Obviously winning 4 straight. Looking good doing it, I think.
Well, you don't know what to say about the 2 Canadian teams. We're running out of adjectives about how well they've played. And if you look at the numbers, both the record, of course, and the shooting percentages, Canada is on top and doing very well.
I think if you talk to Colleen, though, I mean, they're 4-0. You're right, Vic, but I think that they played well. But I think they can play even better than they've been playing. I mean, they've not struggled, but they've played some ends where they really could have got themselves in trouble. They got themselves out of that trouble with some good shot making. But you know what can happen, Linda, if you keep putting yourself in that position.
But I think it's the thing you said earlier today about Randy Ferbey and his team. You get ahead in a game and sometimes you lose focus. Yeah. And there were some teams that, you said it best, when they get behind, they put their rocks in play and really go for it and make some nice shots. So that has caught Colleen a couple of times, but they've finished out the games well. And we should probably apologize in advance for any Italian we try and speak tonight, because my Italian's not very good, I know.
Well, we know that Ray's was really good. Well, here in the Italian Alps, it's really a moving.
It's up and down, Victor.
It's tough when you have to explain that, though, Ray.
Well, so you didn't like the Chianti line either?
I like the Chianti line and the zona controller. Yes, very good.
Well, we should tell everybody, because you saw, Linda, this skip, in particular Diana Gaspari. She represented the Italians at the World Juniors in Flims just a couple of weeks ago. They won the bronze medal, and they held a parade, I understand, in Cortina to celebrate.
They did when they went home the Monday after the World Championships a week ago. All the politicians and the townspeople came out to the town square and celebrated the victory. And they did play very well. And you saw Diana, that was really what she wants to do, is get rocks in play. She tried right now to put up a corner guard. It slips into the house, and now she's in difficulty because there are 2 Canadian stones in the rings.
Well, Diana will have a chance because we know that Colleen doesn't like to play a lot of rocks in play, so especially the early part of the game.
No, no. Dove? 4. Ok, ok, 4.
Trying to freeze.
Dove? Bianco, bianco.
She's going to play a lot of draws, this skip from Italy. They're playing to freeze here, and they'll be doing that as long as they can in this game, trying to keep rocks in play. That is their style. And if you're going to do that, you have to get the speed down, Pat, or you're going to be in big trouble. These ice times, hog to hog, are brought to you by Karcher. It's going to be about 9 seconds for the hit. I think you're going to see more quiet shots, the 11.5-second hack weight shot, and in particular the draws, 14 to 14.5. And you may hear the intervals come out a little bit. It's 3.85 on average, that first back line to first hog line for a perfect draw.
Divider or short. Yep. Just out front. Line's fine. Whoa.
We're in. Okay. Settle.
Whoa. Good, Marianne.
Adesso boccerei.
8.
Now they're talking about numbers there. Otto would be number 8. What's their number?
Well, they're talking about the speeds. They actually have a variety of numbers. We're going to talk about these zones because they have zones for draws as well. It's a little bit different than Randy Furby's, but they just use a different numbering system for the hits. When I worked with them, I've actually worked with this team in Vancouver and in Italy. Roger Schmidt's the national coach of Italy, trying to build to the Olympics, and there's Roger. And I worked with him, as I say, twice now with this team and with all the Italian curlers in Cortina that time. And he has a goal, he has a number of goals. Of course, the Olympics are in Italy in 2006, and they are building to that event. And Vic, they're really trying to get this team to play what they play best, to get comfortable with that style, and that is aggressive curling.
A little background on Roger Schmidt. People may know he was originally from Saskatchewan. Played with Rick Falkenebreyer, I want to say 78.
In Vancouver.
In Vancouver, and then in 1987. 87 in Vancouver at the BC place. Lost the final, playing for Germany, lost the final to Russ Howard.
Of the World Championship.
And he's made his home in Germany for a number of years. Now he's living in Switzerland. He said he's coaching them to play the way he likes to think he played, and that's with rocks in play, Ray. A mistake, do you believe, for a team so young?
No, we talked about that this afternoon. I think that's the way you should be leaning, and you might. We saw this afternoon that the European teams can play. We saw Marco come from behind even, but he waited till he was behind. They all seem to wait till they are behind. I think it has to be part of your package. Offense, you have, sure. I talked to Mike Hay about that just 10 minutes ago before the game started. I said, Mike, you played 5 ends up and down the ice. I mean, you have last rock, go get it.
Mike Hay of Scotland, of
course. Yes, Mike Hay of Scotland, and sorry. He's their national coach, and I don't understand why so many, not all of them, of course, but why so many of them, they wait to use the offensive part of the game when they're behind. Yes, you have to do it then, but why not make it part of the package? So no, in answer to your question, before I got all carried away there.
Now, one other thing about them, Linda, and this team, they've got 2 18-year-olds and 2 30-somethings on the team. They have an 18-year-old 5th player. Roger suggested that at some point this week he's going to play 3 18-year-olds because he figures he's going to be able to interchange and mold and work and, as you suggest, model a team that will make a run at getting to the Olympics.
Right now he's got Julia at 3rd, and Julia would be a skip at home in Italy, but he's put these 2 skips together to try and blend the experience with the young player Diana, who actually has quite a bit of experience when you think that she's played in the World Juniors 2 years in a row, 4th and then 3rd this year. She's played in the Europeans, qualified this country by beating Germany. Diana did at the Europeans. Italy won the B side, and Germany was lowest on the A side, and they played against each other, and she won. So she actually has pretty good experience for a very young person. And Vic, I think one of the hardest things when you do blend teams together is that you do have two people perhaps with a little bit
Even
different
if you can.
styles. So when I
Or
worked with
T.
them in the fall, they came to Vancouver.
Right up.
That was one of the things
The
Roger
more,
was trying
the
to
more,
do,
the
is
more.
get Julia and Diana to kind of
Great weight,
fit
Kim.
together
Good
better
sweep, you guys.
in that backhand, skip third position.
Pack, pack.
Canada still lying to Italy, trying to get something going here, but with that first corner guard coming into the house, Diana not able to do it where she wanted to do it.
It's a good call here, though. She can make the hit and stick here. If she gets a rollout, she might be able to go across the other side and tap bring the third shot rock into play, Linda.
See? Oh! Vai, tieni,
Right,
tieni,
right,
When you
tieni.
watch this team, Linda, in Limbs, were they in fact, what am I trying to say here? Because of their coaching, were they already better than many of the junior teams there? Did the bronze medal speak to the coaching that they had received?
Well, they were definitely, I would say the way the order finished was definitely the way the team should finish. The rest of the field on the junior women's side was fairly weak in my opinion. And yes, I think it was the coaching and the schooling of this Italian team that has shown how well they have come along. Vic, a medal for Italy, it was such a big thing. And the fact that Diana came fourth last year in Kelowna was really a big thing. They hadn't done well in a number of years. So I think for sure it's been some coaching.
E se no bisogna fare 8. Sì. 8, sei sulla scopa, tac, via.
When we were talking about it at the World Juniors, the same teams qualified the last 2 years. And I think if you're one of those countries, Vic, that finished down the pack at the juniors, that's the development part of the country's program. And that you get pretty worried if you're finishing down the pack and not seeing that kind of development that we see in Italy. I mean, in Canada, we have so many great teams, and it's so tough, Ray, to win the junior championships. And we send a team off and we know they're going to do well. And great job this year by the two Canadian junior teams. But for these other countries, if they're not seeing progress, it's kind of depressing.
Easy. Looks like
A little
lost
pressure
here,
on
guys. Even.
Colleen Jones and Randy Furby, our two senior teams, of course, with victories. Our two junior teams with victories.
Sit.
Your turn now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. A little break, that rock going too far for Colleen.
That's what I mentioned. That's why the hit on the last one, we would like to have hit and stuck, of course, because now you could make a play on this one, possibly to lie 3, but you're there to lie 2 if you can just make a play on it. Chip it over and roll over.
Sì. La sposti e la tua viene qua? Ok.
5. Sposto la gialla con un 5.
Make a play on this, just moving it back. Try and roll that shooter over a little bit. Get a little separation to lie 2.
And the number 5, Cinque, refers again to weight.
Well, it would be back line. I'm just not sure that's enough weight. We'll have a look at what she ends up throwing.
Tienila un po', tienila, tienila, tienila. Vai, 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 vai. Tienila, 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 tienila. Tienila! Che bella! Tienila, 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 tienila.
Oh, not quite far enough. I was just a little worried that when they were talking about that speed, it wasn't quite enough for that shot. So close.
Cazzo.
Kim's
Took up
finished
the
up real
curl
nice
and-
there.
We were talking about that earlier today, the amount of difference going from T-line to back line to hack to board, the amount of difference in
Kim's finished up
curl is
real
so
nice. I'd like to
dramatic.
roll to Kim's side. We're number 2 down there.
The wrong team threw first there, is that what happened?
I guess so.
Oh, so it's a restart. It's a restart.
Well, they can have it in racing.
Well, maybe they chose to throw first. You can do that. Can't you do
No.
that?
I guess because the hammer's assigned, you can't. You normally could if it was a flip of the coin.
Flip of the coin, you
Way
could.
over hard.
I don't want last rock. You could make a stand on it.
That's right.
The third moved when I was throwing, and it's all I could see. I should have stopped. No,
Watch it, mind. Così come tiri?
she's not playing it.
She is.
That ice. Wouldn't you go the other way?
Well, there's a chance for a double here. Hitting this one. Trying to come across onto this here. Hope you don't jam it here.
Final stone here in the first for Italy, and Diana Gaspari facing a couple of Canadian stones.
Vai, no. Vai. Okay.
And will sit top four for the single, and the Italians will have the early lead in this fifth draw of women's play here at the Ford Worlds from Winnipeg.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
So the Italians pick up one in the first with the hammer. It's Canada now with last rock as we play in the second. It's the fifth draw of women's play, and the Canadian women's champions from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, Colleen Jones, the only undefeated team, 4 straight wins as they play Italy and Diana Gaspari.
Well, I'm not sure if she actually was playing the double or not, Linda.
Yeah, it was really hard to tell. She
'Cause
played it so
brushed,
quietly.
and they brushed it too.
It sounded like it, and they were just keeping it clean, but yeah, it was a little hard to tell.
The possibility of getting 2 was certainly there. There was also a possibility that you could jam it on the other side. So.
Quattro.
Buona. Tira un po', tieni.
Violetta has also played hockey. She's a hockey player and played in the Italian Women's League.
Tira. Oh, dai, tira. Oh.
Now the Italian team do call out numbers, as we were talking about in the first end. They don't have the full 10 zones that Randy Furby and his team use. They have 5 leading up to the back line, and they were calling out quattro, which is the top of the house to the tee line weight. And uno, due, tre is in front of the house, quattro up to the tee line, and cinque is tee line to back line.
Well, you commit that to memory, because I won't be.
Now it's funny, but you do know some Italian. Chianti.
For sure.
Whoa, line.
For sure, that's clear. Tomorrow we go to the mountain.
Got tons of room for what line. Freeze, it's fine. Okay, go then. Hard.
Ipazzano, Valpolicella.
Right up.
That's a pretty well. Broglio.
Boy, I tell you, well, you've got. If the winelets could get you through on a trip through Italy, you'd be just doing fine.
Yeah, I really have a tough time getting on the train, but usually when I get there after all that wine, I don't even know where the train station is.
Oh, dear.
Shot stone belongs to Italy. Canada does have 1 in behind and 1 top 8 foot. A guard up in front for Italy, and they'll try and protect now.
È buona.
Stai fermati.
You know, it's funny, we often say the most problem, or if you're going to give Colleen Jones some problem, is to play with get some rocks in play.
No question.
And I might just be, if I'm Colleen, I might be just shaking my head and going, what is going on? You don't expect the Europeans or European teams generally to play like this. Fair to say?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but not this Italian team. If she knew anything about them, and I'm sure there's been some scouting done by the Canadian group, she'll know they like rocks in play.
the way you play the game. Get one in there and guard it for all your life.
Yeah, she
Now,
did that at the World
sometimes-
Juniors too.
Sometimes they score 5 or 6 on you.
Well, yeah. And in fact, the other night, I'll have to look back here. The Italians were in a game, and we said that for that
4-0.
reason.
Due, dai.
They're playing Sweden, wasn't it?
Tieni, 2-3.
Yes, they were playing Sweden, and they gave up a steal of 6, losing 13-4. But they were down, obviously, and trying to
that's
get
what
back into it.
yeah, that's what we liked about it, Vic, is that they took a chance because they needed to. Unfortunately, that guard is going to curl a little bit more than they wanted.
I wonder if you can.
The NHL playoffs on TSN begin Wednesday. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. It'll be game 1. The Bruins and the Devils from New Jersey.
Colleen trying to get the double peel here, get them off the front.
Marianne Way.
Oh. Oh. Chuck.
Not so bad. Linda moved that Yellowstone off the front of the shot rock.
Also no.
I would stay with the game plan, wouldn't you?
I sure would.
See? Anche
Now
tu,
you'll
va
notice some of the
bene.
guards over curl because the Italian team tend to lack rotation when they throw the stone, and that means as it's coming to a finish, with the big finish on this ice, they do have it almost sliding sideways. We'll see if Julia can put a little bit more rotation on and get a better finish.
Osa arriva! Osa arriva! Oh, deve callare! Vai, tira allora, tira tutta.
They're
adesso,
just trying to
tutta
get this
adesso,
one
tutta,
over the
tira
hog
giù.
line.
Tira. Dai.
And just enough.
Brava. So regular or board?
Regular or board?
Regular or board?
What's regular like?
Okay, regular.
Didn't curl enough, so with regular weight you can hold it and Kim can get at this.
Kim
Yep.
Kelly was very busy this year, Vic, if you add in Continental Cup,
Hurry!
Canada Cup.
Right up hard!
Trying to get it through the hole. By 1, by 2, by 3, no.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself, and Kim in particular, with the mixed, national mixed, and boy, I tell you, they've done a lot of curling, that whole team
They
this
sure
year.
have.
Oso no, così.
Perché vuoi bocciare? Vabbè, bocciamo, ok?
That Canadian mixed with Paul Fleming,
Fleming, yeah.
in Abbotsford, BC.
That was a
7.
great final
See?
against Shannon
La vedi
Clybrink.
tutta?
Shannon
Tutta
Clybrink is
con
qualified
luce.
again. She won the
Ah,
Alberta
okay.
I see that.
Alberta mixed.
See
So
that.
she'll be
I
back.
read the notes that come down this way, Vic.
We tried to keep them up at this end of the table, actually. That one slipped by us.
Yeah, that was, they went an extra end, and it was 11-11 or something playing the extra end. I think it was a
Kevin
lot of-
Cooey, I think they were playing.
Vai! Tieni! Tutta!
Lacciadelli.
Che buona! Tieni! Dai!
Yes. Wow, look at this. They hit, the roll, the raise, and they're lying 2.
Basta, ho fatto 2 tiri.
She did go away from her game plan. She gets a result here, but the double sets up for Colleen. And making the double, you may jam on the back yellow one, but I would have thought maybe she played another guard there, Linda.
Kim Kelly.
It could be that the port is a little more difficult to get a draw through now.
Watch your shooter there, Marianne.
All on its own. Got them both, got one. There's the jam.
Great shot.
And the shooter will spill off Sitta's shot stone for Canada with the hammer here in the second.
Interesting.
You hear Nancy
Yes.
say, this is interesting.
Yes.
Dovresti
Now the
uscire,
port sets up better for this
Anche
draw.
con un 7.
You
Guarda
play
la
a
guardia
freeze,
dov'è.
the angle's good.
Che urlano?
Sì, sì.
No?
Proviamo.
Direi di
Possiamo
sì.
venire così appunto qua.
Perché dici che questa... La vedi?
Well, this is the second time playing the first for the U.S. and Switzerland after they started with the wrong team with the hammer, and this will be Switzerland now with the last stone. Swiss
Va bene allora.
are skipped by Nicole Strossack, but it's Selina Breuil throwing the fourth stone for the champions from Bern, playing the U.S. and Debbie McCormick from Madison, Wisconsin, both teams at 2-2. This is a draw 4-2, and she will be heavy. Now, I may have spoken too soon. I'm just going to assume that yellow stone is one. They're going to call for a measure, those two around the 12-foot.
No, that's my help. Yeah, no.
You think, Vic, that's going to
Buona.
really
Buona.
upset the percentages? Linda's going to go crazy when she starts doing
Vai,
the
vai un po',
percentages.
vai.
Because
Four shots
she
for the
had
first
four
ten.
shots in the
Shots.
first 10. Yeah.
Vai, vai, tienila, 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 tienila.
Now they're
Tienila, 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 tienila,
They
tienila,
just- they
tienila,
put
tienila.
the wrong
tienila.
scoreboard was in front of them, so
Peccato. Oh, basta, basta.
if there's
basta.
any excuse, little tap back over
Perso
curls,
che-
and
Ha perso che?
Well, we want to come right
Perso
there?
il curl.
Or this other side somewhere.
Canada continues to lie.
Go
One.
turn, orient turn. I mean, coming that way could set up a double, I suppose. But this is, you know, this is pretty good.
I like that, Nance.
Yeah.
I talked about the rotation or lack thereof from the Italian team, and
I don't really want to
pretty
come
clear
in
that
turn,
if you're
come around.
following down Julia or Diana with their stones, Vic, you can't take the same ice. Colleen can't really read from those stones because of the way they move so differently. Colleen's team throwing the extra rotation, it will take a more natural path.
Spike the floor. Yeah, you need pulley. Little more ice, Nance. Hers went sideways, but she didn't have much of a handle. Right, there you go. Should be plenty of weight, you guys.
Line's great.
Line's
Line's
fine.
great. Lots of room.
Lot of
a little
room.
hot out of her hand,
Where is
thinks
it?
Lots of
Colleen
room.
Jones.
Is it?
Whoa.
Okay.
Can you bury it now? Yep. Yep.
Do you want to come back here? I don't think you want
Whoa.
to come back here. All right. That's all right.
Well,
Whoa,
that
it sure was.
last rock being heavy was an opportunity missed for two. Switzerland on the measure gets one against the U.S.
At the end.
Yes,
I mean,
because
at
I
the
was
hog line,
close,
it was
yes.
still out here.
Play down on top of that, just sit right in front of it.
Yeah, Colleen did not want to end up
No.
in that spot. Diana has seen this path, and she can try and get right on top of that stone that Colleen just threw.
Po' larga. Po' larga, larga. Larga. Larga, larga, larga. Neanche toccarla, è larga. Tocca la guardia.
All over the guard.
This looks a
Tocca la
little heavy
guardia.
too.
No.
The weight was pretty close. If it had
Weight was
curled
very
a little bit better for her, she would have been right in the pocket. Even if she tapped it back a few inches, it wouldn't have mattered.
I'll tell you the other shot I've got, Nance, is right here.
Bella botta. Bestia, io ormai ho perso le speranze.
But I think with
Era
backline
troppo
weight.
sulla guardia, no?
I think I'll
Sì,
come.
precisa. Hai visto quanto che
back line weight. Come down, try and get the movement. There's lots of movement there across the face of that. Just try and push it this way with back 12-foot weight. And if you could do that, miss the back one, you could score 3 points.
Back line. Over curl, you know, I think I can't throw much more than back line because I got to get the finish past the guard. And give me a little less, so Nance. Yeah. And we just have to let it curl past the guard. I thought maybe that in turn was there, but really I don't have enough of it.
That guard is
this
very
in-turn
long.
side?
It's just a couple of feet over the hog
think I
line,
need
so
to
you
see
will
a little
get
more.
lots of curl once the stone gets by it.
Well, the draw really swooped across because they just got by the high yellow guard, and yet it came right across the center line, and if it curls another half a foot, this
Nance, I
shot
think
for
I got to
Colleen
take
is
a little less.
not possible.
Thanks.
So she's tightened up the ice twice now. Final stone on its way for Canada's Colleen
Oh,
Jones.
it caught something
You know
right
what?
out of her
That's
hand.
what I picked up when I was sliding down. Yeah.
And
One
it
red.
will be 1 red, 1 for Italy. The steal here in 2. Here Colleen
No,
Jones
I think it was a full scrapage in the.
looking to see what may have caught her stone.
You can see it's almost right out of her hand, right? Watch now. Right there. There it goes.
Nasty.
Yeah. You know, I could feel it when I slid down and I turned back, but I thought I.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you in part by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
Our first update of scores for you in this 5th draw of women's play, and Sweden with a 2-1 lead over Japan. That's Annette Norberg, Shinobi Aota. They're playing the second now, Switzerland. Nicole Strozak leading Debbie McCormick. Denmark, Dorte Holm against Olga Yarkova. The Italians with the 2-0 lead over Canada. And Scotland, Edith Loudon against Norway and Dorothy Nordby.
Great, Nance.
That was a bad break for Colleen. We don't know if that last in the shot would have been made because it happened so quickly that the stone caught something. But it was very unfortunate to have that catch some debris. Big break for Italy, and they put the front stone up again. Canada didn't make the come around so that the rock was buried, so they'll try the hit and roll.
Oh, se non sentiamo devi fare i gesti, se no non sentiamo niente. Inutile arrabbiarsi. Andiamo di là.
The Canadian men's team of Randy Furby played just once on this Monday, and they were 8-6 winners over Finland to improve their record to 4-0. And so they'll play 2 on Tuesday, and they'll start off at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Pacific against the U.S. Pete Fenson winning his first this afternoon. Kathy
got
Gauthier and
something
John
under.
Wells
You know
will
what?
have that for you.
There's something out on the ice. That one caught it and almost stopped. That was a takeout that stopped prior to the hog line. There is something out on that ice.
Has a rough edge under their sliding brooms, and well, it's hard to watch for it. I think they've got a sharp edge, and I think when they
That's a takeout we're watching that just
slide out,
stops
it's
right
gouging
there.
something. I mean, it's just crazy to have 2 rocks just. I mean, I've never seen anything like that before, and it's the only thing I can think of. It's there's something on their equipment. Well, I don't know if their brooms were checked or.
Dove? Ok?
Quasi 3.
No, 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 no.
3.
Dove?
3.
Umpire Bill Charlebois talking with Colleen.
There's definitely something out there. There's no question, as Linda pointed out, that was a takeout, and it stopped halfway down and came just to a dead stop.
I've never seen, I could have seen it maybe and didn't realize it, but Ray, I can't think of a time when a brush would have created a spot in the ice that would do that to a stone. That's usually a material that's on the ice, a piece of grit or something like that.
And what Colleen was saying is that she thinks it's a rough edge on the brush that's scarring the ice, but that wouldn't make something like that stop like that.
I've never seen that
because I'd seen
happen.
cracks in the ice and chips in the ice, and
it would literally have to be something on the ice.
Absolutely, because it just stopped it.
Linda, what do you?
Maybe a little piece of that Italian Alps, you know,
or a little piece of cork.
Yeah, maybe.
What's your thought on countries with, I'll call them developing curling countries, that doesn't have limited numbers? What's your thought on of taking athletes and trying to specifically groom them for a sport? So, for example, as Roger Schmidt is doing here, you find some 3 or 4 18-year-olds or whomever it has to be, and you just say, we're going to take you and work with you and work with you, and maybe if one doesn't, we'll just augment and go. What's your thought on that?
Well, first of all, these were curlers that he took. They weren't people just that were athletes.
Right.
He actually took curlers that were already
And I'll
playing.
give you an example, just for example. When I was doing the freestyle at the Olympics, the Chinese would go and get gymnasts first, then teach them to ski because they already knew the acrobatics.
Right. In this case, I think it's a great idea for a country that's developing, needing some success to get some profile to then promote the game, as we see a nice shot there by Canada. I think it's a good idea to try and build a good team to go off to a championship and have some success and come back and translate that success into greater promotion and participation in the country. I can't really speak to selecting other athletes to come into curling because I'm not that aware of it. I haven't actually been involved with that kind of thing. As a matter of fact, we have tried to have camps where you select based on physical skills to see if you can develop those physical skills. But right, you look around at the top curlers in the world and they're just all so different. You can't pick out a height or a physical demeanor that actually would be best for a curler. It's just too difficult.
No, I mean, you talk about golfers. I mean, the good golfers are all different. You know, they've added skill levels to it with physical conditioning now, for example. And and the curlers have done that as well. They realize that, you know, the days of not putting yourself in shape are over if you're going to compete at this level.
Out-turn draw around everything, Kim.
The U.S. and Switzerland, after the Swiss team from Bern picked up 1 in the first. The United States champions out of the Madison Curling Club, Madison, Wisconsin. Debbie McCormick, the Saskatoon native. People may remember her as Debbie Henry. In her second appearance at the World Championships. Last appearance in Lausanne, makes the hit and stick and picks up the single to tie at 1-1.
Wait's good.
Fair to say, Linda, that in curling, a head for the game is as important, maybe more important than the physical attribute?
Now, there's so many aspects to the game. You're right, being able to be mentally tough, mentally prepared for the sport is very important. Being able to be a part of a team. Some athletes come from sports where they play on their own, an individual sport, and don't lend themselves well to coming into a team aspect. Team dynamics are so critical, so there are so many elements to consider, Vic.
Go back to your interview a couple years ago with Marco Yusupalvanemi about, you know, he's a mathematics wizard, and he was saying to you, he found the game so intriguing from the strategy point of view. And obviously you need the physical aspect of the game, but that was part of this game that's it is so interesting. The planning of the ends and
Looking live at Denmark and Russia as well. And the final stone for the Russian skip. This is Olga Yarkova from the Moskvich Curling Club in Moscow. 3rd appearance at the Worlds. 2nd as a skip. She was 4 and 5 a year ago. And this is a draw for 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Russia. 3 certainly having a look around the outside. That is Malena Kraus.
Yep.
And they'll kick it away without the measure.
Room, yeah, room.
As it does look.
Yep. Line
3
only.
for sure. We'll update you if they put a 4th on the board.
Full 8. Back for the no doubles. Hard, a little bit. Yep.
Nice shot,
Good
Kim.
chicken, Kim.
Nice shot.
Stand up, by the
Chance for a
way.
little bit of a roll in front of that.
So you just might want to watch that too.
Whenever you stand
If I stand up in the hat,
hat.
yeah, they
Okay,
move
gotcha.
a lot behind you.
There's the kids.
Hey, they've arrived from
family is here.
Toronto.
It was a long trip for them. They have finally arrived. They got hung up in the ice storm as well that had people stranded in Toronto Friday and Saturday. First of the skip stones for Italy and Diana Gaspari.
Vai un po', vai.
And it was a
Attempted to put another
4
one right into
count
the air.
for the Russians to take the lead on Denmark. Russia coming in at 2 and 2. Denmark
Clean your path.
and Dorte home 1 and 3.
Those eagle eyes, you knew it was a 4. Very good, Vic. I wasn't sure.
You know, we were just further to what we were talking about how they look for athletes now with different skills and temperaments. Hockey has changed so much, Linda Ray. I know that Hockey Canada has their program of excellence. There used to be a time when if you were big or you could skate fast or you could shoot hard, any 1-3 criteria that you were looked at. Now, one of the most important things is what is in your head. That Hockey Canada says you have to be smart. You have to want to fit the program. Whether it be the physical program, the nutrition program, and everything else.
So I'm
So
gonna have put it their way too.
they're looking for smarter people, you know, the smarter players as well.
No, you really nowadays, to be the best, you have to have all aspects
Lots
of your
of
game
rounds.
right at the top.
Lots of line, guys.
Italy didn't get the roll they
Lot of
wanted.
room
It
here.
rolled to the
Lot
other
of room.
direction, so Colleen's playing another
Leave
draw.
it if you can. Okay.
Right up. Whoa, 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 whoa,
You know what? It's better even if it's,
whoa.
well, okay.
Final stone for Sweden is on its way, leading 2-1 over Japan as they play in the third. This is Annette Norberg in her 5th appearance.
Yeah, I agree.
A silver medalist in Lausanne. Playing Japan's Shinobi Ayota from Hokkaido. And that is for 3. And Sweden with a 5-1 lead as they look to go to 4-1. Japan coming in 2 and 2.
Attente, no. Attente, solo attente. No.
Just needed to
Okay, where
curl a
was-
little
exactly
bit
was
more
you
and
were
she
right
would have
about-
spilled it far enough.
It was more than that. We had about here. Okay.
So Canada has a
So you want
chance
there?
now to
No.
pick up a pair.
Colleen needs full 4, and it's interesting when you look at where the broom is, Ray, and you mentioned this actually earlier. They get
What?
so
Yeah.
much curl from the wings to center, And yet when you play down that 4-foot path, the curl just isn't the same.
Yeah, you can get to the same spot with 2 feet to different ice. You can go to the 12-foot and get over there. And
one of the things you were saying, Ray, though, when this tournament began, one of the things that you found impressive about Colleen was the way she was able to park. The things that bothered her.
that
You
a
think she's
permanent?
bothered now and she has parked those stones that she's lost?
She's the best in the world at it, male or female. She doesn't let a shot bother her. She doesn't let a game bother her. She doesn't let a series of games bother her.
Lots of line.
You know, I mean, she's
More.
obviously, she got 2 bad
Line's
breaks.
gonna be fine. Line's great.
Line's bad.
The best example
Line's
was the
real
8th
good.
in
Yep.
her final when she
Line's
had just
fine.
missed
Yep,
3 of her
yep,
last 5
yep.
shots, and then she drew to the
You're gonna miss the
button against 3 with no backing.
Whoa.
Draw for 2.
A little strong, I think.
Going to have to sit and sit quickly,
yellow.
and she has gone through the 4-foot and will settle for just 1.
1 yellow.
Italy leads through 3.
What? What?
Friends first. The story of Team Schmerler is a compelling and heartfelt look at the friendships and obstacles that 4 remarkable women encountered in striking Olympic gold in curling. Watch Friends First, the story of Team Schmerler, April 18th on CTV. So the Canadians missed the opportunity to get a couple in the 3rd, and it's a 2-1 Italian lead as we go to the 4th.
3, 2, 3.
The Italians from the New Wave Curling Club in Cortina d'Ampezzo have the hammer.
Good call. First one goes into the rings for Canada, and a corner guard is called by Italy.
Brava. Center guard, yes.
Nancy and the team curl out of the Mayflower in Halifax, and one of the things
Get it
about the
over, yeah.
Italian team
Whoa,
that
whoa, whoa,
it's
whoa, whoa.
true, Ray, of all the developing countries that don't really have
Okay.
facilities. They finally, just after I was there 2 years ago, they built a curling club by using a bus shelter. They took, because it was a long building and they knew they could fit in 2 sheets, so they renovated this bus shelter, a place to store the buses, put walls and rearrange the things, and put in 2 sheets of ice, and the WCF helped fund that. And that's the way that a lot of these countries can get then proper ice. They were before that playing on the open air hockey ice that hosted the 56
No.
Olympics, I think it was in Cortina. And of course, when I was there, it rained a little bit. Well, you can't curl. You just have to stop, go inside, and do some theory. So for these countries to continue to develop, Vic, they need to keep getting better and better facilities.
When you said bus shelter, I thought, well, that's
And
a
it's
very
a very
short
tiny
game.
little, that's what they
That's a
call it. I
little
guess
game.
a
Yeah, I
storage
know,
shed
sure,
almost,
plus
I guess.
garage, it would be, I think, it's called a
Sure.
garage.
Okay, thank you, Vic.
Bye, 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 bye.
Eventually, actually, they're going to enclose the Olympic Stadium. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of it, but enclose it and add curling in there as well.
Well, you're absolutely correct in the sense that until they get the facilities, that was the problem that I had during the 70s as well, teaching all through Europe. I mean, they just didn't have the curling halls, the curling clubs, and they had hockey arenas and
And full credit to the
Why
World
didn't
Curling
you
Federation
come
for taking that initiative.
Definitely.
in putting together the money
We're sitting number
and
1.
spending it in that area for
Mhm.
sure. There is some money now, which there wasn't before because of the Olympics.
Definitely, it's helped
so,
a lot.
Yeah.
It's interesting to watch this game. Canada's shots down in the back of the 8-foot, but Italy is making some very nice calls and some
I
good
don't
shots.
think
That
it's
was a
quite-
nice
it's
tap
like
back,
an
got the
88
rock
pound
to the back. And you can see that it takes
Withdraw, wait,
a
is
lot
it
longer to
doing it
call this
all
kind of game for
here?
Colleen because of the
To
number of
kinda
rocks in
split
play.
that?
I think that's so dangerous.
Well, this is the kind of game that Diana wants to play against Colleen. You want to make this Canadian team think about the With lots of rocks in play,
I just
make
hate
some
leaving that
decisions.
there. What? Yeah, I'm just wondering if we left it, yeah. And even if you just popped it over 3 inches so that we could hit it.
T-line weight.
Yeah, I just hate leaving that there with 2 guards out front. Yeah, T-line.
Easy pop up for them.
So you're going to make them
Come around on the other
shots?
side.
No, well, possibly, Nance, but we're trying to. We're just throwing T-line. We're coming around our yellow tight, and we're just popping it into the open a little bit and having our shooter roll behind those 2 guards. I mean, I know it's a tough shot, but
And then they'll
look
probably
what,
draw us it too, right?
well, then we've got the hit and roll too. But I hate like drawing around here and giving them that, leaving that pop up right there.
With all the center guards, it's going to be hard to get more than one. I mean, then we come around on the out turn.
I think this is makeable.
And, okay.
And I think even if Marianne raises him in for shot, then our yellow is there. Like even if it doesn't curl, yeah. T-line.
We're going to tap the red one in to try to poke it out my way. Well, it is the call. Good.
What do you think about this reasoning here by
Well,
Colleen?
I don't blame her for not liking that stone there. I'll tell you that much, because it's there's 2 long guards out in front, and making some kind of a play on it is.
Hurry! Hard! Hurry, 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 hurry! Whoa!
It's not all bad.
Opens it up.
Yeah.
Good, Marianne.
Là, ok. Split.
È difficile per la forza.
Tap it back
Punto.
or draw around. Just to draw around. Going behind the long red guard.
Vai, vai, vai! Tieni, tieni, tieni! Forte, 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 forte! Tutta, 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 tutta! Oh, oh!
It really does have extra weight, and they didn't really call it till just now. And she was desperately trying to get it by, and it will stay in because it will tap that Canadian rock.
Italy line 2.
What are they
Just
saying
the
when
one,
they're shouting?
Marianne.
Basta?
For the calling of the weight, I don't know. They're calling out for the number. They're calling out cinque, which is a back of the house weight.
Forte,
sure about-
forte, hard, hard, hard. Forte.
There you go.
But they didn't say porte.
Forte,
Whoa.
forte,
Forte.
forte.
Whoa!
There's a way to make it.
Whoa!
So how would you say hurry
Watch
hard?
your roll, Nance.
Not quite what they wanted. Great chance for Italy here with the guards up and shot stone. It is back 8, but if you draw top 8 now in front of it, it really set up for you.
Quattro! Come?
Rosa Pompanen.
Vai, tieni allora, tieni! Forte! Dai che buono! Forte! 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 Dove? Vai, 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 vai!
Se la tiriamo,
vai, tira! Tira! Tira, 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 tira! È perfetta, tira! Dai, 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 dai.
Pretty nice shot.
Brava!
Very nice shot.
Or the intern. Okay, looks nice.
You've got that back one too. I hope that's enough ice. Get all that broom.
Now you're going to the other side. This wide in-turn. How does the ice react over
Well,
here?
we talked about that earlier in the earlier ends. The further out you seem to go, Vic, the more it swoops over.
Fine. Line's fine.
Marianne Way. Nancy Delahunt now trying to fight to hold it.
Yeah.
And they can't.
Nice weight, Kim.
Just the inexperience. You can see it here, Linda, that she just doesn't know what to do. Her call of spreading it out was not a bad idea.
Comes back to what we said earlier in the week, that one of the things about the differences in world rules is no timeouts, no possible chance for a coach to come to the ice surface. This is one of those times when that might just help a country that's looking to improve their game.
We talked about it in the World Juniors, that definitely that is a time that they could use a little bit of extra help.
But you can see that rock just isn't. It's going to work against you now. All of a sudden, Colleen gets one down there. Going that way, top 12 foot is not a bad shot. Go to the other side, leave her that one, spread it out like she thought about for a moment, because she does have last rock. Italy has last rock in this end, and so you don't want to be bunching your stones like that. Now a good shot by Kim will get Canada out of this difficult situation.
A lot of room. Wait on
Bouncing.
Lot of room still.
Bounce.
Trying.
Still a chance now. That rock didn't curl enough.
And it won't go out the back.
What are we throwing out there for weight?
Oh, she threw right
Final
there.
stone for the Japanese, and skip Shinobu Ayota from Hokkaido. She plays Sweden. Down 5-1 in the fourth. The Japanese 2-2 coming in. And this is a draw against two, and she'll put it right on the button for the single. Nice draw by Ayota.
This is definitely the shot, but with a little extra weight, you have to be careful you don't take too much ice, because we know with the draw weight, it'll certainly come across.
And that is a skill that comes with experience, ice reading and knowing how much to cut down the ice for the little bit more shot. Mind you, that's more weight than she asked for. Not bad.
So did you work on that high-fiving with them too? Or?
That wasn't part of the lesson when I was there. They're a very nice team, I must add.
I'm sure they
They're
are.
very nice girls.
So you knew I was going to say that.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I'm not a fan of the high five. We all know that.
So here's your out. They are sitting three against you, but Colleen can see that
and,
rock.
Get a little flop in. Any heavier out there at all? You don't. Yeah.
Trying to get a little bit of a roll over into this area.
Where? Whoa. Whoa. No line.
How much?
No line.
First skip stone, Colleen
line.
Jones.
Ok.
Devi farlo te? Sì. O vuoi...
Doherty Nordby in her final stone in the fourth, trailing Scotland and Edith Loudon. Scotland 1 and 3. They won their first game this morning. Norway 2 and 2 coming in.
Ja, da. Mye for det.
Oh boy, that's a big miss. That's a steal of 2 and a 5-1 lead for Scotland.
Well, if you're looking for opportunities to put yourself in a pretty good position, a little hit and a bit of a roll over and be to the forefoot on this stone here will put Canada in a great amount of trouble.
Vai! No!
Vai, vai! Oh.
Vai, vai, vai! No, no, no! No, 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 no.
She got a little roll.
Vai.
She played the extra weight, and that made it a little harder to get it to move as it came down the ice. But still, Roger must be pleased.
Well, what he sees, he likes.
Era 8.
Italy is lying 4 as Colleen makes her way down the ice to throw her last.
Well, it's imperative that you get the roll here now all of a sudden. Try and roll over here.
Yes.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa.
Kim Kelly, Marianne Way back right off.
Never.
Whoa.
Never, 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 never.
Looking for a little flip inside.
No.
Just that weight will not come.
And there's a jam.
Okay.
I think it's a draw for 4.
It is.
Oh, you can hear just this murmur through the crowd here at the arena in Winnipeg. They know the Canadians are in trouble.
Draw, tick off of it would have rolled in for a shot. I was thinking just back
Well, I
8,
didn't
we
mean to
had
throw
more
that way.
options. Yeah.
But I want it back line.
What's been the difficulty on that piece of ice?
She just overthrew that for the ice she took. You just heard her say.
No, she just wanted to tap
Tap
it and get the
and-
little spill in.
You didn't have to even remove
What's
it.
that?
The key there was to get the roll.
That's right.
But you have to give them full credit. We said that this lady likes rocks in play. We said that Colleen doesn't, and they've made nice shots this end. Colleen got a bad break when her rock picked in 2, but this is outright good shooting by Italy.
Vai, vai.
Piece of the 8-foot.
No, 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 no. Fa da sola perché spizza. Vai, 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 vai.
Uh-oh.
Vai.
They just waste a chance. No, they got it. That's enough. Italy picks up 4 here in the 4th.
Here's a good example of this, what Lyndon talked about earlier. She seemed to put a lot of rotation on when she let it go. She had enough. But as it comes across the hog line, you'll see it's kind of almost turning a little bit here. Watch when it gets to the, just over the hog line. Here it starts to, almost like it picks something here, Linda. You see there, it kind of almost stops rotating.
La sposata di tanto così, eh?
No, era buona.
Va bene, dai.
It's been a terrific start to these Ford Worlds for the Canadian Men's Championship team of Randy Ferbey. Undefeated so far, 4 straight wins. And they'll play 2 games on Tuesday. It'll start with a game against the U.S., 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Pacific. Kathy Gauthier, John Wells will have that for you. Here are all the scores as they play in the 5th, and it's Sweden with the lead over Japan. They're in the 4th, Switzerland leading the U.S. Denmark has come back, trails 4-3 to Russia. That 4 jumps off the board for the Italians, now leading Canada, and 5-1 Scotland ahead of Norway and Doherty Nordby. So the Canadians, who have trailed only twice before in their previous 4 games, their first 4 games, and only trailed by a single point, find themselves now down by 5 as we play in the 5th.
Well, the one thing you do know, you're going to get all kinds of opportunities against Italy to this game is far from over. They're inexperienced and they don't throw much weight at all, Linda, even at the best of times.
No, they defend with more offense. They would be just as quick at the World Juniors to give up a 3 after getting a 3 because they leave everything in play.
Yeah.
So you're right, there'll be opportunities.
The U.S. and Switzerland. Here's a chance for the Americans to hit and stick for a couple in the 4th.
Okay, I don't mind that.
Debbie McCormick out of Madison, Wisconsin. Nicole Strazak from Bern. And she'll sit edge of the 8-foot for the 2. And the Americans will take the lead.
Oh, God, a little, my friend. Put Nance.
Sette. Sì. Vai. Tieni, forte. Tira un po', tira. Oh. Sposta di là.
Very nice. Colleen trying the 2 corner guards up front. And now you're going to have to start moving some of those red.
Marianne Way.
Hurry. Whoa. Okay. Girl. I think we were looking for double.
Some days that's the way it goes, isn't
That's
it?
right. Got the jam, so shot stone still top of the 4th, but a good spot for Italy. Now she's trying to decide, I guess, whether she's going to guard or remove.
Io l'ho spulato. Questa?
Via quella.
La prendi qua?
Come prima.
Going to take the Canadian stone off.
This is not what we would have seen her do in Switzerland at the World Juniors. She would have been just protecting that shot rock. I guess she is going by the scoreboard. Of course, that's what you normally would do.
Tieni, forte, tieni, vai.
Got to come across the face just a bit, and does. But now opens up that shot stone, top 4-foot. Be sure to join CTV National News with Lloyd Robertson for Target Iraq and ongoing coverage of the situation in the Middle East.
Just regular. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Get over. Whoa.
Shot. Nice weight, eh?
Very nice
perfect.
to tuck a piece behind. Canada with the hammer here in the 5th. Down 6-1.
Very nice shot. Pick it out of there.
Nice too that their stone is blocking the come around that Colleen wants to play. So she's going to try and remove that rock.
Because of the two guards are there, if she gets a little roll, the rock that'll be difficult to remove. So Kim looking for the
Regular.
roll behind the two long guards.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Nice throw, Kim. Good throw.
Two-time world champion Dorothy Nordby from Norway, 1990-91. Back to back. And, she's trying to fight her way back against Scotland, trailing Edith Loudon from Perth. 5-1. Final stone in the fifth.
Vai, vai, vai. Forte, 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 tieni. Tieni. Oh, oh. Tieni. Oh, 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 oh.
Makes the hit and rolls it to the edge of the four. She'll pick up one 5-2 as they go to the break.
Well, they've waited a long time to be able to get around some of these guards, but here they go. Kim Kelly with the come around attempt. The Italian stone is tight to the rings, but they should be able to get behind it with the good curl on this ice.
Line's fine.
91, so.
Lot of line. Coming though. Yep. Yep. Hard.
Well, take it for weight. Hard, 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 hard. Right up, right up.
Good brushing by Nancy Delahunt. Mary Ann Way. They'll drag it.
That's a great shot, too.
Top 8.
Now you heard them call out the interval, 3.91. We said 3.85 would be about the interval for T-line. So they really did have to work this, Vic, most of the way down.
Right up. Good sweep, you guys. Great shot.
Meglio.
Piena, piena.
Perché piena poi lo shooter resta. Dipende cosa voglio anche lo shooter faccia. Si sposti un po' di là, direi.
Ok.
No?
Sì.
7-8. Così?
8.
Così?
It's going to be a fight back after that big end.
Eh? Sì.
One in behind right now for Canada, and Italy will try the run back.
Tienila, 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 tienila. No, 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 no.
Diana Gaspari and her first.
That's
It's a little bit too much ice.
She threw it well with lots of weight.
All the way to there. I think we have to go to prevent the hit and roll, eh?
Yep, I love it.
Play the split here.
I think they called just a draw to the edge of the four.
With that ice, it looks like they're just drawing, as Linda mentions, to the edge of the four.
Okay, still a full 5, eh?
Coming this way here. You could try to play the split on this, moving this one maybe over there and rolling over there yourself.
T-line, you guys.
But a deuce is, you know, a deuce is fine here. You don't have to get them all back in one end. Get a couple, and you know you're going to have rocks in play. 4 rock rule. You can get those first 2 out there.
Line's great. T-line, guys.
Colleen Jones and her first.
She talked about a 15-second
T-line.
hog-to-hog shot,
Line's great.
thinking it's really sliding again tonight.
Yeah, we're still on this one. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's okay. I just thought I might get a nick here, but yeah. Keep coming with it, Kim. Right back. I gotta go. I gotta go, Kim. Okay, good shot.
The NHL's second season begins Wednesday here on TSN. The playoffs in Game 1, Boston, New Jersey. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. The NHL on TSN. Oh yeah, the Winnipeg Jets. Oh, we've talked a lot about the new arena. Do you think a new arena would have saved the Jets in this city?
No, not with the salaries in the NHL today. There's nothing that could have saved them. The market isn't here, Victor. The new arena would be great, but I don't think even it would have saved them. Just when the people that know figures and know business and took a look at it, I mean, some very wise people that just said, hey, we can't compete. We can't draw the number of people. We don't have the large corporations.
Angle it back, and we'll jam it, and it'll leave Canada a chance for 2. Linda, we talked about Gaspari and the Italians liking rocks in play, which is great when you're trying to create some offense. Does she know how to defend, though, Ali?
Well, Roger will talk about this team and say their strength is the fact that they can draw very well. They're not as keen to go quickly to the defense. You've just seen actually not a bad end. They made one run back that didn't quite work. Otherwise, their hits were actually pretty good. That double was close. Actually, Diana called the brushing a little wrong, so there was a bit of a mix-up in the communication. But Vic, they will give Canada chances because the better shots for Italy are the draws and the come-arounds. First one is the interval. That's the back line to first hog line. And I already mentioned that the last one was a little light when it was at 3.9. So we'll have a look and see how far this one goes.
Yep. Just keep it clean, guys.
Take the difference. So we are over 15 seconds now looking at these draws.
And so the comeback starts now for Canada as they'll pick up 2 here in the 5th.
You know what, guys?
They'll go to the break. And the Italians lead 6-3. Let's meet the 2 teams. And throwing lead stones for Italy is Violetta Caldart. For Canada, Nancy Delahunt. The seconds are Rosa Pompanen and Marianne Way. Throwing third stones, Giulia Lacciadelli and Kim Kelly. And the Italian skip from Cortina d'Ampezzo, Diana Gaspari. And from the Mayflower Club in Halifax, Canada's Colleen Jones. The front end of the Canadian Men's Championship team, Scott Pfeiffer, Marcel Rock, or as they become known, Huffin' and Puffin'. And they've huffed and puffed their way to 4 straight wins. And now they have their own t-shirt, the Huffin' and Puffin' t-shirt. And our thanks to Marcel's mom and dad, Roland and Louise Rock, for the t-shirts. As Canada will open their 2-game day on Tuesday against the U.S. Randy Ferbey looking to make it 5 straight here at the Ford Worlds in Winnipeg.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. By Karcher, you'll look for things to clean. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
All the games have reached the midway point here in this 5th draw of women's play. Sweden continues to lead Japan 5-2 and at Norberg ahead of Shinobu Aoyoti. And it's the U.S. after the blank, still leading Switzerland 3-2. Debbie McCormack ahead of Nicole Strausak. Denmark has fallen behind the Russians, Dorothy Holm and Olga Yarkova. Canada within 3 as you see Nancy Delahunt begin play in the 6th. And Scotland still leading 5-2 over Norway. Edith Loudon ahead of Doherty Nordby on this Monday night here at the Ford Worlds.
Right up.
Well, the first rock into the free guard zone area.
We're really long.
Across the hog line.
Sorry, guys. That's good. Good, Nance. But is that just...
That's a good shot, Nancy. Don't be so worried about it. It's just over the hog line.
Now both teams have had a chance to talk with coaches, and it's interesting because Diana's going to the draw to the open side play.
Which means?
They're going to try and play it a little more open with the 3-point lead. Again, this isn't what I saw in Flims from her when she was playing with her junior team, but they obviously have a plan.
Both the score 6-3 and only 5 ends to go. I would think that Colin would probably ignore this, throw another one up front or go behind.
Time to check the numbers after 5, as we always do with Linda, and they're brought to you by True Value.
The stolen point came on a pick. Colleen's Rock grabbing something, so that was disappointing. But when you look down the percentages, it is Italy with the superior percentages. Draw in particular is kind of surprising to see right up there at 81%, and that is their game. And they're going to have to continue to keep those good numbers up there on the second 5 if they want to win this game.
Nancy either got that a little outside or they took too much ice because
She slipped?
it's in the area they wanted, but just a little too far off that center line.
This is a very interesting call. And the team at the other end are having a chat about it. You can't remove those guards because we're still playing Leeds Rock. So the call from the skip is to move it, not remove it. And I think they're pretty unsure about this play. And now the change is going to draw away from the guards. And you got the nods from this end. They agreed with that more.
And did you see? There's Roger Schmidt, the coach, in behind. You can just see him sort of, I'm not quite sure about that. Sort of trying to get the tension out of the neck a little bit.
You're not indicating that he was signaling.
No, could you imagine that, huh? Don't want to start a skating controversy here. This is just the 8th time that the Italian women have been in the World Championship since 1979 when the Worlds began. Live look at Russia against Denmark. Danes scored 2 in the 4th to blank the 5th, and so this is the final stone on its way for Olga Yarkova, 24-year-old, in her 3rd appearance at the Worlds. A year ago, 4 and 5 in Bismarck, North Dakota. Got to find the hole, by that one, past that one, and look at this. This is a draw for 3 for Russia.
Well, I don't mind a hit and roll now. I don't mind a hit and roll now, especially since they missed that. Yep. All right.
Well, they put up a 4 in the 3rd and a 3 here in the 6th. The last appearance, though, for the Italians was, Linda?
Well, if you're saying my name, was it 1985?
1985. Do you remember who you played?
No, I don't.
Maria Grazia Constantini. Do you remember what the score was?
No, I don't.
It was 10-3 for you.
Is there any more tests? It's Monday night, please.
Oh, yeah, test. We found out that your memory's going.
It's gone.
Regular.
I know it was in Sweden that I played.
Oh, good.
Is that good?
That's good.
Yeah. Nice weight, Marianne.
I'm surprised she hit that. I really am.
Why? Why would you?
Well,
not?
I mean,
Just
I know
wasn't
she was
the
looking
problem.
looking for the roll, but I would have come around one of the guards, or even I would stopped another rock on the center line in front, someplace like that.
Now the fact that she doesn't have hammer, does that come into play?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't want to give up. You're trying to steal, aren't you? Aren't you starting this end to steal? And
Tagli solo questa.
she's going to hit the front stone. She could hit the back one, of course. She is recognizing possibly that the front stone is the problem.
It is the one difficult part about the teaching strategy, though, Ray, because I'm sure in the fifth end break, Roger said, try to keep the front open when you have the hammer. Oh, dear. So it wouldn't have been a bad shot to try and get the hit and roll on that, but they had a plan, and that was to try and keep it open. Unfortunately, for Rosa, through the hole.
I think it's 5, Marianne. Just 5.
Here we come around now.
Should be good.
Line's fine. Line's fine.
Weight's nice.
Yep. Just 4 foot. Whoa. Even.
Nice shot. Great shot, Marianne.
Marianne Way buries it. Top 4 behind that very long guard.
It actually peeks out a little on the other side, Vic. There's a hole there to get through to hit it.
You're right.
I'm closer to the sheet. I can see the angles a little better. You're way over there, and sheet 1.
Yes.
Very close, just sitting on that side, but it will roll too far for shot stone.
You have to get around the guard by about 2 feet. Show them half on this side.
Scotland and Edith Loudon and the final stone. In the 6th, leading Norway and Dorothy Nordby. 5-2.
Clean, Joss, clean. Right up.
Boy, that's a... She's facing 4 with that. Makes the hit. Sits at the back 4 for the single. And a 6-2 lead.
Line's great. Great slots. Line's great. It's got to be full 12, though.
It is, it is, it is.
You know, I was kind of tempted to put a center guard right up over there.
Good idea.
Well, I'm a little late on it, aren't I?
Yes.
But I was tempted, but
That would have been a good
then I'd be selling the farm.
That's even more open this time.
Julia Lacciadelli.
Vai, tieni un po', tieni. Tieni un po', tieni. Vai.
Why not, Kimberly?
You know, Lynn, when you talked about the fact that you hadn't seen this from the Italians before, and it comes after the break.
Firm. Whoa. Whoa.
Every game becomes a
Clean.
learning experience, like going to school. And, you know, I guess, is this part of the learning
Watch the
process
roll.
with
Not a-
their
not a big
coach
roll.
here and the Italians trying to defend the lead?
Oh, definitely, Vic. And I'm not saying what she was doing was wrong. It's just not the trend from 2 weeks ago. So it must be difficult for her with this different team in an environment rather than the World Juniors, the World Championships, to make those kinds of switches.
One thing Roger did say, Ray, when I was speaking to him before the game, he says, television cameras, 1, and this environment here, big.
Oh, sure. I mean, I think all the most of the European teams would say the same. You know, it's they don't play in front of crowds like this. You know, where Colleen and Randy are very used to it. I mean, the Friars are always sold out. Scott's got great crowds this year in Kitchener. They did a wonderful job. Terrific turnout.
Colleen Jones coming into this fifth draw as the only undefeated team, followed by Sweden and Annette Norberg, and then we bunched up at 2 wins and 2 losses. And on the bottom side, 3 teams at 1-3.
I know. There's a part of me that's sort of tempted to put it behind the tee line and tempt her to play a freeze. But it would be my luck she'd lock it on.
I think this is the call.
Same weight over here, 5.
In behind the long guard. So it doesn't curl out the other side. You have to get by the, you've got lots of room to get by the guard because it'll move late. It's a long guard. That was the first shot that Nancy
Just full 8, guys. Line's
put
good.
out there and
Line's
felt
great.
it was too long, and maybe with ice it curls it is a little too long, but
Whoa. Just full 8. Full 8. Okay, go then. Full 8.
Hurry!
You need to bite
Right
the
up,
8
right
against
up,
the
right
big
up,
wall.
right up, hard!
Bite the 8.
Hard! Whoa, whoa.
Whoa. Sit.
Bad handle,
That's a
sorry.
good shot, Colleen. Missed a little handle situation.
Yes, a little handle situation.
That's what you need.
Bad handle situation, but look at that. It's
Pretty-
fine.
pretty
That's
good.
all I needed.
Così?
well, that one's not peeking out the other side, Linda.
It's not.
That much I can tell you. There is, it's a long guard, so there's lots of room to get by, but we saw David Neto in the second end today get by a rock that was in the 12-foot and hit a rock on the nose that was on the button. So fantastic shot, unbelievable shot. So lots of movement.
You know, Linda, we were talking earlier about maybe the Italians not being able to defend leads,
Tienila un po', tienila,
considering
tienila,
the failing memory.
tienila.
Thank you. Are you going to help me out here?
Well, you may not remember.
Tieni, tieni, tieni.
Well, Grindelwald, you weren't there, but in Grindelwald with the Europeans, they failed to hold the lead 3 times in different games. So it is something they're just not able to do, and already they've given up, you know, being up by 5, it's down to 3.
Esatto, è bellissima. Io dicevo, intanto le ho detto tienila e poi
A little
chiedevo
break
com'è.
here.
Sapere
Chip
quanto
on the
quella
guard,
volata.
overcurls the shot she wants, but the fact that it rolls in means Colleen has to play that one.
Lei fa sta bocciata piena. Tu fai la bocciata piena poi. Sì.
Just
Era
regular. quasi. I want to roll. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa!
Like to roll away from that spot.
Come on, finish.
Last stone for
Hard on
Colleen
it.
Jones.
Hard on it. Hard. Whoa, whoa.
Nice
Great
shot.
shot.
Lovely shot.
There's a lot of shots this end that you could have questioned that Italy played, and now she's in tough after that great roll by Colleen.
Yeah, we just rolled it 2 or 3 more inches. Boy, the shot's even that much more difficult, but it's a tough shot as it is. You're right, Linda. The houses are not as lively, Vic, so there's a little frost out there. Hans Richard said it snuck in last night a little bit. You can see it sneaking in tonight. Wasn't as obvious in the early part of the week, Saturday and Sunday, but it's definitely out there now.
And it's warming up outside and expected to get warmer tomorrow. Temperatures getting above 10 degrees. Maybe about 50 Fahrenheit. Final stone. This is a draw against 3. Bacciadelli, Pompanen, and Coldart.
Swept it a little bit too
Too much.
That's just inexperience. They just overswept it.
Steal of 1 for Canada here in 6. The key shot is brought to you by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
Well, it is the key shot because Colleen gets a little roll. They had good pressure on Italy this end, but if she doesn't roll, Diana Gaspari has a chance to just tap it out and get her single.
Hard on it. Hard on it. Hard.
Very nice. Look at that. A little bit further would have made it even tougher. Italy with a great attempt on their final draw, just actually overbrushed, or Colleen would not have stolen that point.
That's for sure. And it was strictly a lack of communication, and I see it with a lot of these teams, a lot of the inexperienced teams, but they don't communicate. The front end does not communicate with the back end like you see in our country. All the teams, all our top teams, really, that's such a key element of the game, is being able to relay the information down.
Well, Colleen has been in this situation before, trailing the Italians by 2 points back in 1982. First ever appearance at the World. She trailed the Italians 5-3, came back stealing 6 ends to win the game 7-5, and so she steals her first in the 6th and is down by 2.
Here, clean
I
it.
was there actually, Vic, and I remember that clearly.
Your memory's much better than mine.
I was there that year. That's the year that Colleen was criticized a little bit about wearing the headphones and the Walkman during the game.
During the game.
She listened to music.
Listen to music.
Oh, something like Dick Zockel used to do on the golf tour. Remember, didn't he? Disco Dick, they called him.
Yeah.
Cinque.
Vai.
Cinque.
Oh,
Di più.
That's a long time ago, and she was a very young lady, and now she's a fantastic player.
Good save. I thought she was a very young lady. I thought you were going to put your foot in it there for a second.
Now that she's older, you know.
They actually called those as both ticks. They were not playing the come around, so those are not misses by Italy. But the guards are still in a great spot for Colleen to use.
Got some room.
Need some weight.
Lots of room.
Not a room though.
Lots of room. Walk.
We can leave it out, maybe.
I don't mind short. I don't
Yeah.
mind short. Coming now. Yep. Hurry. Hard. Coming real nice. Right up. 4 foot. 4 foot. Hard. Great shot. My goodness, I'm so surprised that moved that much.
Kind of lost its handle a bit.
Great shot, Marianne.
There isn't any question, Vic and Linda, that the ice is softer tonight. It's much softer. Vic mentioned the temperature outside. It's warming up, and you can see the slide path has been flattening a bit, and it's a lot of those stones are almost, not completely, but losing their rotation a little bit. I pointed it out earlier. It wasn't bad or anything, but it's just when they start to do that, they start to come across a little bit more.
Trying to get the double peel there and just by, so lots of guards out in front. Vic, isn't it going to get quite warm in a couple of days?
I thought we might have
Yeah.
been short.
Which way looks better? This way?
It's true.
I'm waiting for the full weather report
No, I
here.
just mentioned it's plus 10. Although towards the weekend it's going to cool off again, and they even
I think
hint of snow actually towards the end of the weekend.
I think one of the things that they were saying is remarkable was that not just the high, but the low was going to be above 0. They're saying that it's really warm. That's an indication of how warm it is, which could mean a few difficulties with the ice.
It's so typical of spring, of course. You don't know what jacket to wear,
Yeah,
how to
true.
dress.
Any time of the year out here, you can pretty well take your overcoat anywhere you want to go.
Right up. Right up, right up, right up. Hurry, 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 hurry.
Good enough? Good sweep, you guys.
Well, Denmark.
A few rocks in play in this.
Boy, yeah.
Eh sì, per forza.
Pardon me.
Stava guardando come.
Just line 2, Russia line 2, and this is the final stone for Dorte Holm. Looks like she may be playing a double raise here, yellow onto red.
Forza di prima!
It's definitely what she's trying, Vic. It's not going to curl for her.
And is it one? It is. Just one yellow, one for Russia, and an 8-3 lead.
Colleen to keep chipping away here. Got a nice
Red one, eh?
rock on the button. They'd love to come around and just freeze to the face of it. You'd hate also
Right
to
around the
disturb the
red?
front.
That's what I like.
Yeah, me too.
Come through the hole, top of the forefoot, with the out turn, the other side.
It's shy, I think.
80. Yep. Whoa, weight's going. Yeah, yeah, weight's going. Whoa, line only. Whoa.
Great shot,
Kim Kelly to the back of the 8.
Legs, right?
Canada line 2 without.
Well, it's actually a better shot stopping back there than stopping in the open beside that stone. They maybe had left that earlier, Linda. They may have got it, may have dug in a little bit, because they got by the front rock by a lot.
Looking at the final stone for Sweden and Annette Norberg. Line 2. And this is a draw for 3 against Japan and Shinobu Ayota. And stop in time. Boy, it did. Just stops for 3. 8-2. Sweden leading, looking to go to 4-1.
Yes.
Well, it's been tough for Italy. We can see that they don't have the same kind of experience at clearing those front stones and have just been mishitting them a little bit. And so now a chance for Canada to get a third stone into a good position.
Line's fine.
It's heavier here, eh?
Get it over. Get it over and wall.
This may curl too much. That's a break for.
Didn't get all of it.
You see the whole thing, a little flip inside, turn this end right around.
7, 8.
7.
Vai, vai.
Oh, vai un po', vai, 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 vai.
Vai,
Vai, forte, 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 tieni.
Big scrub by Pompanen and Kaldkart. Got it by. Oh no!
She was inside right out of her hand, as was Kim Kelly inside right out of her hand as well. Just, it seemed to me that Colleen had taken enough ice, but Kim never got out to the broom on that one. So another terrific break for Canada.
Just the little feather, the worst that can happen. You didn't get off the front stone and right by the shot stone.
It was going to crash on the other red one anyway. It was really moving across, but
Halfway. Okey-doke. All right.
All the
Set up
scores for
permanent. I
you
think I've asked
in
that
this
before.
5th
Feels
draw
like I
of women's
asked it
play.
yesterday.
It's all there.
Clean.
Clean only.
Clean.
Yep.
whoa, 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 whoa. Good shot.
Cullen got well up to the broom. Nice guard.
Didn't want to leave it out turn.
Spostarla qua.
The Winnipeg victorious won the Stanley Cup prior to the NHL's existence, 1896, and the NHL 2003 playoffs begin this Wednesday on TSN. Boston and New Jersey. Game 1, you'll see it at 7 Eastern time, 4 Pacific.
She doesn't have any trouble getting the curl.
She's drawing around, but she's taking almost a foot less ice than Colleen took, and I don't know if
She's actually playing to tap it.
Is she?
And
Okay.
I'm not sure this is a good approach, because as soon as you add a little weight, I'm not sure that she's going to get the curl.
No.
So Canada's got those rocks in such a great position.
Vai, 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 vai.
Vai.
Vai!
Vai, 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 vai. Sempre, sempre.
Oh yeah, right there.
I think you could lock right on there.
Yeah.
I'll be giving it to you guys, but I want it locked right on.
She can stop at the top 8 foot. She can stop at the top 4 foot. You heard her say, if you lock it right on the face of it, it's a great shot.
You know, in some ways, though, just biting the 8 foot will be better, won't it? Because then she could come to that. And you're back, yeah. Okay. Change of plan. Yeah.
I like the top 8 foot.
That's where you drew it. And Italy, if this all comes to be the way Colleen wants it, will have to play the other turn and try and grab as much of the 4 foot button area as they can.
Brush is being held almost in the middle of the 12 foot. So you're
Lenny.
Lots of room. Where?
5 feet of curl.
Whoa.
Can you come around it?
Whoa.
They were talking about the ice getting
you-
a little
can you
soft,
hear?
being a little bit slower.
Whoa, whoa.
We'll have a look here.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Not a lot different
Great
as far
shot.
as the time goes, a little bit.
Was that a considerable, yes, I know, considerable amount
That's a
more
great
weight,
shot.
though, for
One thing about locking it on this
I know,
side is that you hit it and
that's
they get too, you know, they can just hit the
This
first
is a very nice shot by Marianne Way. We're talking about both turns having lots of curl, and this is a spot that Italy has left, and look at this great curl. Once it gets by the guard, look at it keep going.
great shot. My goodness, I'm so surprised that moved that much.
So you know you can get there with this out turn, and
And
maybe that Diana de Gaspari can build on what just she saw earlier from Marianne Way, because that's all she's got is the out turn draw.
Facing 3 with her last one. Italian skip Diana Gaspari.
Buona. Buona.
She had perfect draw weight last
Dovrebbe
end, and they
curlare
just
un
had
po'.
problems brushing it.
Tira,
It's
tira,
tough
tira,
trying to get it
deve
right to the
arrivare.
button. She's much further
Oh,
out
lasciala
now.
curlare allora.
Pompenin
Nel
and
rosso.
Carl Dart.
Vai. Vai. Vai.
Oh, they're going to let it stop.
Boy,
Look at
they
this.
lost it. They lost it. And just like that, the lead has disappeared, and Canada, with a steal of
well.
3 here in the 7th, have moved in front.
Sai che c'è un po' di brina qua all'esterno, no?
Good shooting, skipper.
Actually, really.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you in part by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
Let's update the game between the United States and Switzerland as they play in the 7th. Final stone from U.S. skip Debbie McCormick and her championship team from the Madison, Wisconsin Curling Club against Nicole Strausak from Bern. Little hit and roll. That'll do it. Sit though, you gotta sit, and it will for 2. The U.S. picks up a couple in 7 and takes the lead 5-4. Final rock is on its way for Japan. And Shinobu Eyota from Hokkaido against Sweden and Annette Norberg, 8-2. Sweden leading, everyone jumping out now. Yukari Ozaki, Enrico Miyatoya, and Kotomi Ishizaki. A little bit of panic, but they'll get it to the top edge of the 4, and that's good for 1. So it's an 8-3 Swedish lead, Annette Norberg, the leader there. Russia and Olga Yarkova with the lead over Dorte Holm. Canada has come back with stealing 4 points in the last 2 ends to regain the lead there, and Scotland has the hammer and a 3-point lead. Edith Loudon ahead of Dorty Nordby. Monday night, and it's day 3 of the Ford Worlds here at the arena in Winnipeg.
So the one thing that our viewers can, if you were with us Saturday night, for example, we talked a lot about how lively the houses were, but you know, you saw that hit and roll by Debbie McCormick. You know, she hit just a quarter of the stone and it didn't even roll out of the 4-foot. On Saturday night, that would have rolled to the 12-foot. You know, so there's no question there's a little bit of frost creeping in, and it's warmer in the building. It's flattening a little bit, more like we have seen so often in Briars and Scots.
And this becomes a test, Linda, doesn't it, for the ice maker, because this is that fine line they walk, isn't it? That they can certainly get the ice back, harden it up if they want, but in doing so, I'm assuming, if I know this correctly, make it straighter. And so now you take away the curl, you've taken away the game in a sense, haven't you?
Exactly. It's a very fine line. You need to pull it down a little bit to make sure you don't lose the ice, but you don't want to lose the curl either.
That's right. We have the best, one of the best in the world here, and a good combination of Eric Montford and Hans Vudrik, and they'll try and, as Linda says, make it cooler on the ice surface.
Now,
try to change the temperature inside the building.
As a curler, Linda, Ray, would you prefer to adjust to the ice the way it's, I don't want to say deteriorating, but changing now? Or would you rather have them straighten it up for you, Linda?
No, I don't want it straight. I don't know about Linda, but
No, you don't want it straight. We're seeing a ton of curls, so they could pull it a little bit and not lose what we've got here, and that's great consistency of curl, but they don't want to take it away completely.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, roll it that way. Little roll.
This game is really interesting because, Vic, you're one of those people that often asks us why you don't keep going. If you've gotten the lead by putting rocks in play, why don't you keep putting them in play? And Ray, this is a little bit of that. And I said that I thought Italy might stay with some of the aggressive moves because that is their strength. And it is clear in the last couple of events that their strength isn't clearing stones. And the fact that they didn't take some opportunities that they had to get in behind or make a hit and roll earlier, maybe that's the tough part of strategy to teach, because it seems that teams want to go all the way. They get a lead, they want to go all the way to defense.
well, a good example right here. She could have ignored that and gone around the other side, got around those guards, go back on the offense. But Collins quite satisfied to keep exchanging stones here. She's fought her way back. One up, playing 8. Down 6-1.
Little firm.
A deuce, steal of a single, and a steal of 3.
Whoa. Yep.
Get some hair hanging off.
Shot
there, Marianne.
The player comparisons are brought to you by Nokia, the official wireless phone of the Season of Champions.
Well, this is a big spread on the numbers. Julia actually playing pretty well, making some nice shots, and actually not getting a lot from a couple of her double peels, just missing them at 66%, and Kim Kelly down a little bit, perhaps at 79%. And you can think back to that end where they gave up 4. Canada made some mistakes.
No, no.
Yeah, it's tough to. It's a young team.
A lot of space, though, eh? I like getting rid of it.
They'll have a lot
We
of
can pick
discussion
it
about this
clean.
game and go over it. And
Straight pick with Pio.
take it out of there.
Yep. Hard. Hurry.
Kim
Right
Kelly.
up. Hurry hard.
Great shot,
Shot.
Kim.
I just didn't like anywhere to drop because you could hit and roll or double or.
Well, a chance here for Denmark to pick up 3 against Russia. Final stone from Dorte Holm. Denmark 1 and 3, Russia 2 and 2 entering this 5th draw of women's play. You know what she was playing there? Was she trying to play angle raise back, or
No,
did
no,
it
no.
not curl enough on her?
It didn't curl.
Okay. So they'll settle for 2. Russia has the hammer back and leading by 3.
Nice attempt at the freeze by Italy.
One thing we just saw on the sheet next door, that attempt by Dorte Holm and Denmark to draw a little bit of the frost creeping in, and that means those very wide shots, which we're seeing here by Colleen Jones,
Last
are
ice,
that
Nance.
much tougher. Now, it's not going to show up as much on hits, but
Nance,
it will be a
last
little
ice.
bit straighter, a little less
Last ice.
consistent, and maybe a little bit slower for those draws.
Eighth end, and Scotland with a 3-point lead over Norway. Final stone for Edith Loudon. And this has a chance to be a game ender. Good save to get it by the guard. Look at this. Wow, a 5 for Scotland. And they will win it as Doherty Nordby says no more, and it's 11 to 3, the final. Scotland goes to 2 and 3. Norway now falls to 2 and 3.
And what a miss by Canada. I just finished saying these wide shots, you have to be a little more careful with the frost creeping in, and missed entirely. Picked her own off the back.
Yeah, we were absolutely right about the Doherty Holmes shot.
it just reacts
She
a
was
little
out
bit
there,
different with
and it
more
just,
weight.
and
Yeah,
that was a
more than
quiet,
Kim's, so
quiet weight shot. It was like a back 4-foot shot, and it just sat right on the frost line and never moved. That is sheet C, and we're right behind it. And it came. I watched it out of her hand, and it did not curl one iota.
Tieni, tieni, tieni. Ma, vai. Dovrebbe curlare un po' se si può.
Chance to
Dovrebbe
bury
curlare
this
un po'
one
se
and
si
sit
può.
2.
Se si può deve curlare.
Just want to get them even, so there's
Sopra
no
la T.
double. Buried a little bit.
Grazie. Double looks there.
Yeah, and even anything a hit and roll over this way makes it look.
There have been some mistakes, and that is showing up in the numbers. Now, there was a huge difference coming into this game. Diana was the bottom skip at 61%, and Colleen was the top at 82. You can see Colleen struggling on those hits, and we just saw that a moment ago.
And she had a couple picks too, I think. One in particular.
It's interesting, at the World Juniors, when there was a pick, they didn't count it. They counted it like a throw through, which doesn't go against you or for you in the stats.
Which is right as far as I'm concerned, but
Although-
I don't think they do that here.
No, I don't either. And the other problem is if it picks and ends up close to being the right shot, it becomes subjective. Do you count it or don't you?
I know. That's either both looking good to
Maybe
me.
a pick right out of play.
Actually,
though.
the hit and roll
one
looks
like the
better
one that
to
just
me.
stopped
This hit
dead.
and roll.
Right.
Hit and roll, Nance. What's that? Hit and roll over
Okay,
there.
do you want a little more ice?
Looks like manageable ice, yeah. Good ice. I'll just throw a little harder. maybe not as hard as my last one. Whoa. Yep. Hurry. Whoa. Yep.
Final stone for Colleen Jones here in the
Whoa.
8th.
Whoa.
A chance for Italy here
I thought it was a pretty good throw. I don't know how my weight was.
to pick up 2 and regain the lead.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
Tiebreaker.
As soon as you pick your weight up there, I must say
know.
I was a little tight on that. It just won't go anywhere.
Un po' larga. È un po' larga, È un po' larga.
Da sola, arriva da sola.
Sì, sì, lasciala. Lasciala, lasciala, posto, posto.
Well, that should settle the nerves a little bit for the young Italian skip Diana Gaspari. After giving up 6 straight points, she picks up 2 here in 8 and regains the lead. Continuing with our updates in this 5th draw of women's play, USA and Switzerland, with the Americans leading 5-4. The Swiss team skipped by Nicole Strauzak, but with Selina Brolieu throwing the 4th stone. The in-off. Oh, very pretty, very nice 2 for the Swiss, and they'll take a 6-5 lead. Going to 9, the U.S. and Debbie McCormick with the hammer. Sweden leading 8-3 over Japan as they play the 9th. We just updated that one for you. Denmark got 2 but still trail the Russians playing in 9. Italy has moved in front of Canada. And our first final, 11-3 Scotland over Norway. And so with one final as we update the standings for you, it affects the teams on the second half of the table as Norway falls to 2-3 and Scotland bring their record up to 2-3.
This has become a very interesting situation with the score, having Italy up 1, and now of course what they would love to do is force Canada to take a single, and Italy could have the hammer coming home. Front stone is up. Canada did draw, but they didn't get buried behind it, and there's been an exchange of hits.
I think they think that caught something. I think it did too.
Almost in that same spot where Colleen's caught something earlier.
So chance now for Canada with the hammer here in 9 to split the rings.
We've got room, lot of room, lots of room. It's got a chance.
There's a chatter going down the ice.
Right up.
It will move
Right
when
up,
it starts to go.
Hard. Right up. Hard. Hard, 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 hard. Good sweep, you guys. Good shot, Marianne. Good shot.
There's a lot of extra brushing in a game like this because when you're playing from behind like that, there's so many draws involved. So this is where the physical conditioning really makes a big difference. Throwing down the same spot here.
Vai, 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 tieni, tieni,
I think she's really turning those. Even though they might have thought it caught something, I think she's just getting them started as well.
It's called Friends First, the story of Team Schmerler, a compelling and heartfelt look at the friendships and the obstacles that 4 remarkable women encountered in striking Olympic gold in curling. Watch Friends First, the story of Team Schmerler, April 18th on CTV.
Line's fine. Whoa. Whoa.
There's no way here.
I don't mind here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
It's a biter. No, it's not.
Just here's great. Here's great.
She just wants it up
Whoa,
front.
whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, it is a
whoa,
biter.
I know, but
might as well tuck a piece.
you're not going to tuck anything. You're just going to sit right there with it.
Okay.
Okay, good. Actually, that works.
Otto.
Vai.
Vai, oh. Oh, vai, 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 vai. Tieni. Oh, 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 oh.
Good throw. That auto seems to be about normal hit, and the sete, the 7, seems to be about bumper weight. Good throw on that one.
Kim Kelly
Close for line.
in the 9th with the Italians up by 1.
Line's fine.
Whoa, weight's good.
Going
Whoa.
after her 2 points. Going in behind
T-line
this
though,
guard.
Weight's great.
T-line. Line's perfect.
Should finish big time right about now.
No, don't.
I think we're all there.
Don't want it
Starts to
be.
move across.
Nice shot, Kim.
Great
Very
shot.
nice shot by Kim.
Proviamo. 9.
Going to try the double.
Para que tiro.
The only difficulty with this, of course, is that the shooter's rolling away. So if you don't make it, you leave the same path for Colleen to use again.
Vai, vai, vai. Forte.
Got it started maybe right out of her hand, the front end picking it up from Lacinelli. Angle it back and by.
Right down on top.
Same. Weight's great. Yep. Line only.
Whoa.
Whoa, we've got the weight.
How much weight?
It's perfect. It's right to it.
It's all good.
It's a little bump.
Clean. Clean.
Well, the speed really seems to have
Clean.
stayed down the center anyways.
Great shot, Kim.
That really is a nice shot by Kim. Those were 2 very nice shots. At the right time too, Linda.
That's why if I was Italy and seeing Kim throw that great first come around, I would have tried to keep my shooter rather than go for the double on that last one. They did open up the spot for them to use again.
Yeah, I thought it changed.
No. Not this side is still 5 for sure.
Parlano, Sì. Però fai niente. No, devi venire. Ma qua poi lei chiude e basta. Capito? Ah, oltretutto. Vedi qua? Un
Prenderne
7.
una di là.
Sì.
La vedi qualcosa?
Asking how much they can see from the hack end, and I don't think you can see very much.
Allora entri anche così, scusa, però uno rimane. Sarebbe da togliere, giusto?
Russia with a chance here to draw for 2, certainly. Had a look at a stone that may be biting top of the 12. You can see one that's definitely top 12. This against Denmark. Top 4 for Olga Yarkova, and it's handshakes as Torteholm and Denmark will lose it the final 10-5. So Russia improves their record to 3-2. Denmark fall to 1-4.
No.
And he's going to try to tap that first one, but you saw that the first one is dead buried. The other one is a little bit open from the far side. She needs some curl here.
Passa via dritta.
And that is going to get nothing.
And so you lock another one on there, right on the face of it.
You couldn't go by everything with that shot. That's obvious. If she'd chip the guard, at least she'd have an opening, and Colleen would have to worry about what to do with it.
Run the red one back or peel off the front rock.
But you know, as you look at this, Linda, as long as this guard is, do you not think that in turn may have been there?
Well, both turns were there, Vic. The one she played was there, but not with that much weight. You could play with just a little tiny tap. The only concern they have right now is the right-hand side of the sheet as we looked at it seemed to be different speed than the other one. And they were just a little concerned about playing down that spot.
Remember now, Canada does have the hammer in the 9th, trailing by 1.
This is a chance for a bundle for Canada if they can get this one buried.
On the rope. Low line. Time to curl.
That 4 that Colleen gave up in the 4th was the largest score that she has ever given up in world play.
Sit. Shot.
Now lies 3. But if she left something sticking out that may
Sorry, you guys.
She has.
give the Italians a double, maybe even a triple here.
Certainly a double, Vic.
Ah, pieno, va via tutte e 3.
I want to take a look at Colleen throwing. There's something she doesn't do very often. I'm almost sure she puts this back. This is her out turn, her favorite turn. She just lets it go and just kind of at the end of it right there kind of puts it out a little bit. And that's it, just so little, but it's just that first 15-20 feet they run a little straighter and then it starts to curl. She doesn't do that very often with her out turn, believe me.
It was a really subtle finger touch.
You could just see,
you could just see it. Yeah.
That's all it takes, Vic. You know, it's.
It actually looked like, to me, the line of the stone was a little inside to outside as well, not just the fingers. Yeah, you're right, Ray.
Sharp eyes, eh?
Very double for sure is here. Maybe more.
It won't curl much with that kind of weight.
Big shot here for the Italians. Get 1, get 2, got them all moving.
Very nice.
Very nice shot.
You know what? If you had that big weight, would they all have gone then?
Oh, sure. Had them all going, all moving anyway, Vic.
It's a good throw, though. She didn't get by the guard by that much, so
very good.
made sure she got rid of the 2.
Might have been hard to get that third one out of there, but.
Andiamo sotto di 1 con. Non è male, non è male.
Good contact, spun out the 2, leaves Colleen a draw for 2. A little bit of a relief, I'm sure, because it was looking pretty messy.
That was a very nice shot. Diana just gives up the. Colleen has to make this draw for 2 still, but gives up the deuce.
Split time, pretty consistent around that 4-second mark.
Hurry! Hard!
We're thinking around 14-4 for the hog-to-hog time.
All the way hard!
So they're really going to have to drag this.
Marianne Way, Kim Kelly,
Great sweep, you guys.
and they'll drag it to the top edge of the 4 for 2. So Canada will have the lead going to 10, but it will be the Italians that have the hammer. Colleen Jones, Kim Kelly, Marianne Way, Nancy Delahunt, the Canadian women's champions from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax. And we talk about huffing and puffing from the Canadian men. Well, Kim Kelly and Marianne Way can do the job too as they drag that last stone to the top edge of the 4 for 2. And the Canadians will have the lead, 9-8 going to 10.
As we expected, Colleen threw it to the top 4 foot. Did they call? Did Italy play a front rock, or was she freezing to it?
They were trying to freeze or tap it.
She had so much success in the first 4 or 5 ends with those front stones, and that's just inexperience.
Yep. Hurry! Clean. Good shot, Nance.
Well, it comes back to what you both have said before. You get that free pass, as it were, to put those 2 up there. Why not use them?
Yeah, of course. I don't want to be too critical because there's a lot of great Italian restaurants I like here in the city.
Here.
I'll never get into the paradise again.
No.
The only thing that really becomes interesting, though, Ray, is if it's going to stay fairly open, if she continues to play the freezes and taps, and it doesn't work, if she can tie it, I'm talking about Italy, of course, then you go to the extra end, and then we know she would put hooks in play. She would put the front stones up, and then it would become very interesting again.
Arriba. No.
In fairness to them too, you know, they're playing an ice surface that has changed from day 1 to day 2 to day 3, and it's just, without the international experience in buildings like this with huge crowds, it really is difficult to make those, to understand what's happening.
Well,
Ninth end of Switzerland and the U.S. And Switzerland, that yellow stone, top 8. Final stone on its way for Debbie McCormick.
Well, I didn't see that coming. Come around us on the out turn. On the out turn.
It's a long raise.
The decision here, of course, for Colleen is, do we close this end up a little bit, or do we play it open?
So the Swiss will steal 1 and lead at 7-5, and the U.S. will have the hammer in 10.
Linda makes a really good point. You know, even if she ties this game up, the Italian skip, even though she's so inexperienced, will listen to
eventually
that.
we might have to wind up guarding anyhow, like if she makes the freeze too good.
all right, well, let's put another one in there.
All right. Out turn come up?
Yep.
And Sweden is an 8-5 winner over Japan. So Annette Norberg, she goes to 4-1. Japan now 2-3.
Just to finish what I was going to say is that Linda's absolutely right. If they do even tie the game up, then the Italian skip, even with their inexperience, knows exactly how to go about stealing a point, and that's covering the 4 foot with those 2 first stones, etc.
Line's great.
Now that's why Colleen is talking about trying to go for it right here, not peeling off the guards and letting them have an easier way of tying it up.
Hard! Hurry, 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 hurry! Well, oh, even better.
That works.
It works very well.
Even better. So Canada looking to remain undefeated, make it 5 straight. And Sweden at 4-1. The Russians have moved above 500. Switzerland can join them if they can hold on to their lead over the U.S. On through Denmark, who've now fallen to 1-4 toward the home.
Trying the run back.
Oh.
Great shot, Missy. Kind of think it might be easier on the in turn, Marianne, as opposed to the big curl. Looks good.
A little bit. Yes, I do.
You're gonna have to
Wait's
go.
great.
Playing the intern guard.
Yep.
Let it work, let it work.
All right. Yep.
You have to be careful you
Hurry!
don't get caught out there in that frost line that
Hard,
we
you
talked
guys,
about.
every
It's
inch.
definitely there. There's no question.
Tight. Right up, right up.
Once it gets to the
Hard.
four-foot
Hurry, 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 hurry,
path,
quick. Quick, hard, hard, hard.
it will come. And as
Shot.
you see,
Looking to run it right back. The Italians.
There is room to get at shot stone. I think she's just really afraid to let this thing get closed down too much.
Rosa Pompanen. Run it back and drive it by both.
She overbrushed that if she wanted a double.
yes,
So
it is.
close.
Same as Marianne's. Clean. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Kim Kelly.
Where? Oh,
And he did
not in. Whoa.
with both
Whoa.
Nancy Delahunt and Marianne Way, their
Whoa.
heads down.
Whoa.
Colleen Jones was trying to get their attention to look up.
I got
A little deep.
I got it. Must have been wrong.
Tiro più forte di Rosa, eh?
Ah, okay.
Makes the double much easier, and of course if it had come even a little further there would be a chance to maybe get a roll in behind cover.
Bye, bye, bye.
Julia
Oh.
Laciadelli.
She's thrown a lot of weight. Nice shot.
To get 2.
She's made some big hits in the last few ends.
And the nice part about that, it rolls the shooter in a little bit, so Colleen has to make a decision here. It'll take her long to make it, mind you.
But that's why she didn't want the guard in the rings, because she knew the shooter could stick.
Little firm. Clean. Yep. It's firm. Hurry up. Hard. Little roll. Nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
Now the back one's wide open.
The NHL playoffs begin this week and begin Wednesday here on TSN. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Game 1, Boston and New Jersey. The NHL on TSN. Huge scrub now. Calgart and Pompanen trying to hold it by that top stone.
How many rubs have they had like that?
She's just getting everything started as she releases it. But they have had a lot of ugly
Just a little ticks.
ugly little feather rubs. The worst kind.
They really tried to get it by with the brushing, and even with the tick, it almost came back and at least touched the shot
I'd rather
stone.
it in. Nope.
And Roger Schmidt, the coach, knows if it gotten by, they had a great chance this
I'll go
end.
check.
Couple more gray hairs for Roger.
Well, it looked like you put the broom down for more.
Oh, I put it right down where you were, but. Okay.
No, that was it. If we don't think this is going to, like, let's say it's hanging for some reason, get it in. Can I throw a 6? What? Yeah. Well, as tight as I can. I'd like a real tight guard here. Clean. Whoa, that's lots of weight.
Just clean.
Clean, line
Where?
line.
Where is it? Yeah, okay. You got to clean it, though.
Clean,
We're in, aren't we?
clean.
Yeah. Well, clean it, though, Marianne.
Whoa.
Boy, it really is sliding in this spot.
Okay.
Leggermente,
Should we make the double?
leggermente all'interno.
Sì.
Tiro forte.
Tiri 8?
Sì, anche 9.
Well, this is going to be, I got it. We're reading this correctly. This is even more weight. This is a 9.
Your opinion here, Linda. I respect your opinions, obviously. I prefer to stand up beside the top rock. Do you like the standing behind like that?
Well, the reason they do it is because then they don't have to run back to see the line on the second
Well,
stone.
I guess so, but I mean, you can
Yeah.
get back there pretty quickly.
If I can see the brush, if I'm the person throwing, I don't mind which position you stand in.
I always would ask my skip to stand up beside the stone.
Vai. No. Vai.
Looking for the run back double and drives it by, and the shooter then spills out in behind. Wide open in the 12.
Yeah, but it's important that it stayed in the ring.
Yes.
Try to get a big roll in
Yeah,
there now.
Yeah, this is well out, so you really got to probably the middle of the rock or the edge of the rock to. Should run straight down there. Yeah, you see the broom being held. There's definitely a frost line down there.
But Vic, if it rolled out of the house, Colleen could have just guarded shot stone. So it was important that it stayed in there for second shot. Colleen has to deal with it.
Keep this clean
Canada
the whole
up
way,
1. And that way Italy,
An edge more,
Diana will
Nance.
have a chance to make a play at shot stone.
So how tricky is the ice out here for a shot like this?
Well, it's tricky in the sense that if you just you get it outside at all, it's not going to come back. And
Yep. Just clean.
you have to throw maybe a touch extra weight.
Whoa.
Not a lot.
No.
Whoa, it's falling back.
It will not curl here. That's what I was talking about.
That's all right.
You can almost take right in the center of that stone.
Oh,
Great
absolutely.
throw.
What? It is, but I kind of thought with the frost, maybe we'd get a little swing there now.
No, it works the opposite, Colleen. It works the opposite on you.
So the Italians have a chance here to tie. Force an extra hit and stick. Diana Gaspari
No.
needs to hang around.
No.
Get it outside a little bit.
I think it looks okay. Doesn't it? Staying out there.
No, it's a good throw.
Yes, sir.
For the single and a tie and an extra here in this 5th draw of women's play.
What do we get here for?
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
On this Monday night, draw 5 of women's play, we're going to an extra. Canada and Italy tied at 9 as the Canadians look to win their 5th in a row, and Colleen Jones and the team from Halifax do have the hammer.
Couple of nice shots by the skip, Diana Gaspari. Gaspari, is that right?
Gaspari, yes.
Gaspari. Her first one was a good shot. She stayed in the ring. She didn't get the double she wanted,
Close.
but a nice hit and stick to, and Colleen had no choice but to
Whoa.
hit it.
Whoa.
And,
Whoa. Whoa.
and then a nice hit
Whoa,
and stick.
gotta curl.
A couple of really
Gotta
good
curl.
shots.
Gotta curl.
Under pressure.
Now the tick shots.
Just little curl.
So the stone goes back, updating the U.S. and Switzerland, and the United States has a chance to force an extra here with their final stone in 10. Debbie McCormick looking to tie it with 2 and force the extra. All on its own. Allison Pottinger calling the line, and Swiss Helm, Tracy Satch in the front end out of Madison, Wisconsin. They'll go to an extra as well, tied 7-7 Switzerland. It's Cole Strausak will have the hammer.
Well, Italy went out to desperately sweep, but in a way it's not bad that there's that much separation between the guards. I think they panicked for a moment, but later on, if this tick isn't made, the double peel is much tougher.
Rosa camina sempre.
Now again, here in this 4-guard,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
4-rock rule, you can't remove this one again, so they're playing the tick here too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly right.
Marianne? Goodness.
Not what they wanted because the shooter stays out in front.
We heard the Roger Schmidt talking to his team between ends, and actually he said once you have the
Yeah, we want to use it. Whatever is that.
Yes.
Okay, because if she runs the guard off, going to make her look at 2. She has to throw. If she tries to come down and pick you or something, you still got one to work with.
Yes.
If you use whatever.
Yeah, the key always was all about the guards first of all. You had to have them up.
Yeah, he did say though at one time, what I heard him say, Linda, that once you have the 2 guards, go in.
Absolutely.
She's calling a 3rd guard here, and she has 2 nice guards.
Brava.
And so she could have just gone right into the rings there, right to the forefoot. Because Colleen may make a change in her strategy here. She'd love to get it all open, and she'll keep trying for a while, but you got to be a little careful. You're not going to make that switch with your 2nd for sure. But a little further down the line.
Yep, hard. Real hard. We got something here, Kim. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Take it over. Get the back one, though. Okay.
Colleen and the Canadian women will only play once on Tuesday, and 2 Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. They'll go against Scotland in Edith Loudon, who has bounced back, winning 2 in a row after dropping her first 3.
Buona linea. 2, 2 anche 3 va bene. Sì.
2.
Tira, tira, dai che è buona. Tira, dai che è buona, tira, tira, tira. Tira adesso, tutta, deve curlare.
Vai, 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 fortissimo.
Just taking a little too much ice, I think, Linda.
That one was way out there.
She wants to see her.
The team's going to have a talk.
I'm not overly concerned about our yellow one.
We take the
I'd
red
like
ones.
the, I don't really care about our yellow one. What I'm trying to protect is an out-turn draw for me to the forefoot, which I've got right now. Right, that's what I like the most. Okay. Okay.
She wants that out-turn draw.
What's that? Great.
Now, if you've scouted them well enough, Linda, if you're the Italians, you're trying to put everything on that out-turn side?
You are.
Yeah.
You are, yeah. You'd like, it's not that she can't make the in-turn draw, it's just that you know that she does love the out-turn. She just said it just very clearly. I want to keep that out-turn draw.
And the other thing, as I mentioned, the out-turn draw side of this sheet is a little more consistent. The other side a bit slower. Wow, look at this.
That will go nowhere.
Marianne Way with the flash here.
You got to play. I think she's got to play with this in-turn now.
O così. Come vuoi. Qua verrebbe bene. Buona. Vai un po', vai un po'. Dove? Vai, 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 forte, 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 dai che è buonissima.
Now, we did see earlier that this
Forte,
really
forte,
curls.
forte,
We
forte,
talked
forte,
about the
forte,
speed
dai,
being
dai,
different.
dai.
Look at it go sideways.
But now those stones are overlapped on
Now
that,
we peel
her
the,
favorite
red
out-turn
guy.
side.
She
Might
has to
even get
peel
the
the
front
tight
one.
one.
This side comes up.
Yep. Hurry.
Kim Kelly.
Hurry.
Hurry, guys. Hurry, 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 hurry.
Marianne. Any rollerball, Marianne?
Shot.
Big roll. Okay, right. You know what? It wasn't
Italy
disgusting.
is
I
line
think it
one.
straightened up a whole lot.
Not just behind the tee line, pulling to 12, wide open.
La velocità andava bene, no? Eh sì, ma per dargli...
Dove? Tieni, 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 tieni.
Lacciadelli.
Che passa?
Vai.
I don't know about the weight on this, though.
Anything but heavy.
O no?
And it is.
Well, we can
I
peel.
think we got to go there, you guys.
It's two big misses in the last two ends for Julia. The hit and roll last end and that draw.
Line's fine.
69 should be good. on
Trying to
this
bury it
side.
now.
Lots of
Kim
room.
Kelly behind a couple of staggered
weight?
guards.
It's lots.
Here in an extra of a 9-9 tie. Canada
Needs
looking
to
to
come
win their
down.
5th in a row.
Coming down. What?
Needs to stop. Well, it's trying to stop.
And this one will just slip behind the tee line.
That's really the first serious mistake that she's made.
She threw about
For a while,
4.3,
at least, but because
60.
you get that top of the forefoot in there, now if the come around is still
Well, yeah,
available.
but we're in here, so you know, we're not taking the big ice.
It's a 4 3/4 is what it is right there.
But everything now, you're Colleen too. You're looking at this point in time, your intern.
Well, yeah. It's not that she can't play it, eh? You know, it's just that she prefers the other.
Buona.
Mechanically, boy, she's pretty strong.
And now Italy has to be the one to get the rock into position.
Deve curlare, anzi. Deve curlare. Deve curlare.
Anna Gaspari.
Deve curlare. Deve curlare.
Heavy again.
Heavy again.
Yeah. You take 6 feet of weight off of that and throw it a little bit to the brushers, and it's going to be glued right on the face of that stone or top of the forefoot.
She's very fortunate it stayed for shot rock. Same thing we talked about last end. Colleen has to deal with it.
The young Italian skip is going to have another come around, another crack at that come around, though, to bury the stone. So force Colleen to draw.
To the side of the forefoot there.
Well, Roger Schmidt saw his team perform well early in the end. He did what they wanted. They got the guards up.
They've had good opportunities, Italy has this end. That one come around by Giulia, the third. That was a perfect time to try and get something in the top of the forefoot, beat Canada in. Just was too heavy.
Colleen Jones at her first. Canada with the hammer.
Hard. 3. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa.
Great shot.
It's a nice shot.
That's a real nice shot, Colleen.
That is.
It's tough. She got directions from Roger between ends, and that was all based on Roger telling her to set up guards and draw, and now there's a rock in a position where you just can't ignore it.
You'd like to ignore it and come in here.
Sì, certo, infatti è
Sit right there.
Sì, certo.
You could hit,
Perché qui
certainly hit this one
vede?
here.
Infatti non ce la fai.
Roll over a little
È
bit
vero.
into that position.
Ma vuoi tipo bocciare? Bocciata normale.
Considering she was heavy with her draw.
Là. Okay.
Well, the draw is tough too, Vic, because you got to catch that. To be shot rock, you got to catch that. You have to be full in the forefoot.
Forza.
The freeze isn't there either because of the way the guards are set up. Colleen rolled a little bit, and that was critical to get away from the back of the button where you could play the freeze. So Colleen knows that she's going to have some sort of more open shot because Diana's going to play the hit.
It was a perfect roll, that Colleen. Absolutely perfect. She rolls a foot further, then you're coming around.
Now, in saying all this, if Diana does get the good roll, you are faced, if you're Colleen, with a spot that you're just not as sure about. You've seen the draws be a little bit heavy because everybody thinks it's a little slower on this side of the sheet.
Final stone for the Italians, and Diana Gaspari looking for the hit and the flip over. Needs to roll now, roll over, bump it, and sit for shot. Coach likes it, but will it be enough to give the Italians the win here in the extra? Colleen Jones, this is her 5th extra end game in world play. She's 1 in 3.
They almost lost that. They almost let it curl too much.
Colleen's only win in extra end play coming last year against Russia when she had the hammer.
And in that game, Vic, rather than the draw she has against Italy here, Colleen did have a hit for the win. Almost rolled out. I remember that game very well, but she managed to hang on for a biter and capture the game in that 11th end. Here she has to hit the 4-foot.
Okay, all of the 4.
You heard her say earlier she wanted to protect the out-turn side. Forced to play the in-turn here with her last one in the extra. 4-foot for the win.
Line's great.
It's lots of weight. Whoa, easy.
Line's great,
Lots
guys.
of weight.
Line's great.
Kim Kelly and Marianne
4
Way
foot.
back right off
Lean in.
now.
Just need to bite the 4.
4 foot.
Bite the 4.
4 foot for the win for Colleen Jones and the Canadian women. 4 foot for win number 5.
Thank you very much. Thank you for
Great game, Kim. You had a great game.
Thanks.
Good game. Good game.
Thank you.
Good game. You guys played great.
Fine game.
You guys had a great game.
Hi, everybody at home. Thank you very much.
And with the families now here, Canada celebrates an extra end win.
Woo! Hi, friends. Great judge.
Great powers of concentration.
Line's great.
Settled herself in the hack,
Whoa,
Linda.
easy.
Line's great.
Really concentrated hard on the shot.
Line's great.
Threw it clean, didn't get it started. Everything was perfect.
Clean it.
Great judgment by Kim and Marianne
Need to
Way.
bite the 4.
So she got a little bit of information from the team, seeing enough draws come down into this spot. I think by the end she felt a little more confident with this spot, and that's for the win.
Thank you very much. Thank you for
Great game.
Yeah.
Here's a statistic for you. When Colleen Jones has led after 7 ends in world play, she's won 24 straight times. This one was in extra ends as she drew the 4-foot. Canada wins 5 in a row. Hi, Mom. Congratulations.